First of all, let me welcome all of you and thank you for coming. My name is Terry Burns. I'm the president of the Ithaca Public Education Initiative. And on behalf of our board, we're very pleased to host this event tonight to welcome Dr. Lavelle Brown. And you will hear from him in just a minute. One of the first things that IPEI did 15 years ago when we were first founded was to welcome our first superintendent, Judith Pastel. And we didn't know it was going to take us 15 years to get to do this again, but we're delighted to be here. During that time, IPEI's mission has not changed. We're still the same organization we were then, and that our vision is that every child, their education is enhanced by the involvement of the community and by having community members participate in that. The 15 years we have grown our programs, we have changed our structure, but our basic principles are the same. Whether we do it through teacher grants to bring resources into the classroom, or whether we take students out of the classroom into the community, either it be at the Discovery Trail, through Kids Discover the Trail, or through other grants that take kids, it is something we feel privileged to be able to be involved in. And needless to say, even though we're all volunteers and we put in a lot of hours, we couldn't do it without all of you, because you're our donors and you're the ones that make it possible. So we're thanking you tonight not only for coming, but for your support of this amazing effort. There are a couple things that I wanted to do. I'm trying to think what they are. What I realize is that we are very lucky to have this space, to have this welcome for Lavelle tonight. And I wanted to thank Scott Wiggins of, where is Scott? Scott is our bartender and our host. Thank you. And also, if you've noticed that there's hints of spring, not outside, but inside, those are from the Ithaca Flower Shop, who provided the flowers, which are on the tables. Also, an event like this doesn't happen without some good people behind the scenes, and Mary Granger and Julie Langenbacher, who are examples of two of our dedicated volunteers and board members, put this on tonight. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Lavelle Brown to the mic.
Oh, wow, thank you. Can I take it down? Good evening. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. Thank you all the IPEI folks for hosting this event and for welcoming myself and my family. I am the second assistant superintendent in Ithaca City Schools, and I've said that to all the groups I've been in front of, because the superintendent and first assistant superintendent are right there. I learned very quickly that that's where the work happens. We're so happy. And when I say that, I really mean it. You're probably looking at me right now and you say, he better be happy. We're doing it for him right now. But we're happy. And we're happy for a couple of reasons. When the news broke about our family leaving Charlottesville, we're from Charlottesville, Virginia. And you must know that I grew up in that town. I went to school in that town. I went to UVA, and I went back to work in that town. I've never left that town for many reasons. And we're very proud of once being the #1 small city in the country. When news broke about us leaving that town, there were some people who weren't very happy with our family. And they all came up and they said, why would you leave Charlottesville? And it brought me much pleasure and joy to say, because we're going to Ithaca. Because, you know, you're now the #1 town in the country. So, and because they were trying to be smart and give us a hard time, it was fun to say that to them. But in the back of our heads, as we thought and prayed about coming here, we did think about what's going to happen when we take off and go to a place, because we were safe in that town. My dad came to me, a guy who didn't graduate from high school, who worked every day for 40 years driving a truck to put his young men through college. This old wise man came to me and he said, you're safe in this town, but ships aren't made to stay in harbor. Ships are built to sail. And he had been hearing us talk about our passion for this work and our passion for our daughter. And he said, it's time for you to do that work in communities all over the country. It's time for you to do that in a place like Charlottesville, but now it's the #1 place to live in the country. When we had that blessing, we started to feel better. But we still had a little bit of anxiety there. We were wondering about the sophistication of the community, because Charlottesville is known for that. We were wondering about the partnerships that the community agencies have with the school district, because we were known for that in Charlottesville. We were wondering about the kind of students we were going to have in our community and the kind of friends our daughter were going to grow up with. We stand before you tonight, and we're fine. We've learned very quickly that we have all of that right here. We were worried about the warmth also. We're also fine because the people in this room and the people we've had the opportunity to be in front of are so warm, and you've warmed our hearts. My wife and I haven't cooked a meal yet. We're eating good. We're drinking good wine. So the people have made us warm. So we're going to get through this winter and the next. We together are going to build a world-class school district. I guarantee you. We have a good one now. We're going to define what it is to be a world-class, excellent school district, and we're going to build it together. We're going to make it simple also, in some ways. It's going to be difficult work, but in many ways it's going to be simple. We're going to do it through a lens of relationships, rigor, and relevance. Relationships. Every educator that one comes in contact that works for our organization is going to be one who can build relationships with children, with one another through our professional learning community work, and with you. That's going to be the first thing we're going to focus on, building strong, lasting relationships. My door is always open. Our staff's door is always going to be open. You send us an email, we'll get back to you in 24. Well, I've been saying 24 hours, but my wife, when I'm up at 11:30 at night doing email, she smacked me a couple of times. So 24 to 48 hours, we'll get back to you. We'll sit down with you. Our door is always open. We're here to partner and learn and grow and build strong relationships together. Rigor, we're going to redefine what it is, what good teaching and learning looks like in our classrooms. I've been sharing some pictures with staff over the last month. And unfortunately, when I put up a picture from the 1920s, the 1960s, and last week, too often they're looking the same, other than the ones from last week were in color. We're going to redefine what good teaching and learning looks like. What it looks like to have educators facilitate the conversation versus be the primary provider of the information. We're going to redefine what a good assessment looks like. Having sat down for 8 hours and taken a New York State assessment, I know how bad assessments can be. And not having a clue about what I knew about the work. We're going to redefine what a good assessment is. So that work you're going to hear much more about going forward. In relevance, I've been saying to staff that I fear that our profession, and I'm a lifelong educator, and we're taking this work back, but I fear that our profession is becoming obsolete because we're not relevant anymore. There are a lot of business folks in the room, and I've met many of you tonight. I know you fear obsolescence. And the way to not be obsolete is to talk and learn from your customers. We've been engaging in conversations as educators about what do our customers want. They don't want their classrooms to look like the 1920s. They don't want to sit in rows. They want technology tools at their disposal. They want arts and music programs. They want ubiquitous technology. They want ubiquitous programs like that. They want those experiences. And our job as educators is to provide it to them so that we won't become irrelevant or obsolete. Rigor, relevance, and relationships. We're going to do this work together. We're going to grow and learn together. And I look forward to partnering with everyone in this room to build that world-class school district I was speaking of. Thank you, IPI, again, for welcoming us. I appreciate it.